everybody. Thank you for tuning in for this edition of the Regal Live Series. Regal Live Series is a weekly live series that aims to enable coaches to build a prosperous coaching business by becoming the best coaches that they can be. Regal Unlimited is a leadership development company that has over a decade of excellence in disrupting leadership development through coaching and coach training. In this edition of Regal Live Series, we have J. Lakshminarayanan with us, who we lovingly call JL. JL is a finance leader turned professional coach. He has over 2 decades long stint in the finance function of different industries and worked for companies like Sundaram Finance, Caterpillar, Dell Technologies, and Finestra Software to name a few. He has chosen to be a full-time coach in his next phase of career and as part of that got credentialed as an associate certified coach from the International Coaching Federation and completed his training for the professional certified coach and is pursuing the number of hours. JL is associated with us, Regal Unlimited, for the last 1.5 years, starting off as a learner coach and has grown to be one of the mentors for the ACC cohorts. He set up his coaching business, offering one-to-one coaching and team coaching to individuals and organizations to create sustainable results. Today, he will speak to us on what prompted him to opt for Coaching Unlimited. So, JL, thank you for joining today. I appreciate your time on a weekday. So, if I may start,
Thank you.
why Coaching Unlimited?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here, Anirud. So, and maybe it gives an opportunity to share the Coaching Unlimited that I attended last year. June 2023 is when the batch I was part of. So, why Coaching Unlimited? I think I was in a stage where mid last year, I was about to get my ACC credential, and I had chosen. By the time I had chosen coaching as the career, my next career, and PCC training it was going on at that point in time. And on the business side, I was feeling that maybe am I alone in this journey, right? So I started to feel that loneliness, being first time setting up my own business, not being very sure how to go about and what are the things that we need to do uh, to to build the coaching business and to sustain it over a period of time. I think I was just beginning at that point in time, and I felt Coaching Unlimited could be a good place for me to be part of that fraternity. So what attracted me mainly was I think the trio of Subhash, John, and PK. Right. So I think the names itself, given the kind of credibility that they have as coaches, and also they've been in the business for some time, so 10 plus years each one of them being in the coaching industry itself. So I also interacted. I mean, Subhash, I know, been my mentor, so he's my mentor, and that way I knew um, quite well. But PK and John, it was an opportunity for me to be with them, interact with them, get to know from them the nuances of the coaching in terms of the competencies, as well as how can I shift my focus, merely just focusing on the competencies, to the business side of it. I was looking for that kind of a bridge. That's where I think Coaching Unlimited was quite useful. So the way it was structured, so three people conducting it together, a lot of preparatory work which happened, and a lot of focus on coaching competencies, equal amount of focus on the business side, and also on the branding or positioning, right? So all of these three components together, that's what got me interested. So that's what got me to sign up for Coaching Unlimited, and was part of that.
So, JL, incidentally, we're also part of the same training cohort for ACC. And today we're discussing about Coaching Unlimited. If I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
you were part of the Jaipur edition, the 4th edition, right, of Coaching
Yes,
Unlimited.
absolutely. Yeah.
So briefly, if you could just tell how was the experience there in Jaipur?
I would say, I think togetherness. First of all, I think that's what strikes me. Um, so we are completely away from your daily routines, right? So there are no pressing requirements to attend to. So you are there in a place where it's residential, and you just get to be with the group. And we were together. I reached there on a Thursday at 3 o'clock or something when the session was about to start. From there till Sunday, the session ended. So the kind of interactions that we would have had there, amongst between the with the mentors and amongst all the participants who are coming with diverse experience. It's all of them are credential coaches. Some of them were in the industry. Some of them are practicing, quite experienced. So to be in the midst of them when I'm starting my coaching career, I felt, I think the kind of interactions that used to happen was quite encouraging, and it also helped me to boost my confidence. So that's what happened, really, right? So not just about the competencies. Now, how do I shift gear and then start focusing on the business side? What are the things that I need to do that will equip me so that I can go, what to say? I mean, with things to handle, right? So it's kind of carrying certain tools with you which you can apply outside of the session. So that's how it was. So in terms of training, it was structured where we were in the classroom for a period of time. But I think some of the interesting conversations happened outside of that. In the evenings when we went for a walk to certain places, the informal chats on the way, you just while walking you have certain conversations, and in that place, kind of curated conversations that happened there, right? So it kindles your thoughts in a completely different setting. You're just in the open, a lot of greenery around you, are you're in the midst of nature, and then thought process is something different. It's very unique, which has to be experienced. I think that's how I would say the sessions were, or the experience was being there.
So, Jail, a question that we get a lot that I'd probably leave it to you to answer. Why is coaching unlimited in person and residential? Why is it not online? What do you have to say about that?
The vibe was very different when it's residential, right? You are mentally prepared to be very focused to spend your time there. To me, I think residential, that way it in terms of the shift that happens within your mind, you're going prepared to spend that time. If it's 3 days, spend that time. The quality of time that you spend, the kind of attention that you give, the kind of value that you can get, I don't think that can happen in the online sessions where you can get distracted. You may try to focus to be in the sessions, but coaching unlimited is something unique where it gets co-created. Well, I mean, trainings, even the ACC PCC trainings are like that, but I think here the co-creation, I would say it's much higher, though there is a curriculum and the way trainings are conducted. But I think the participation from each one of them and having that focused discussion in person, it makes a lot of difference. And being residential means your focus is, you're tuned to a specific thing. You focus only on that. That's quite helpful. I don't think that's possible to be done in the case of coaching unlimited online. I mean, I can't even think of it having experienced that in person.
So, Jail, just to add to that, I was actually telling some of our participants for this batch the same thing, that we continue to keep it residential because of the feedback from the previous coaches. You have been a part of our level 2 hybrid batch as well as coaching unlimited batch, and you have seen the property that Regal Unlimited generally conducts events in. How important was the property and the setting to bring up the coaching quotient, business quotient, and branding quotient discussion?
You're not thinking anything else, right? So when you're in that kind of a setup, your mind opens up quite well. And it's not like a classroom. I would say it's much more than that, right? So it's like I said, it's about co-creating, and in co-creation, everybody plays a part. So when you have experienced people sharing some of their vulnerabilities as to what's happening in their business, right? So that allowed me to think, okay, a few years ahead, probably this is something which I may experience. So how can I guard myself against that? So it opens up your mind. So when you are there in the room, present there, having these kind of conversations, um, I mean, you learn at a different level, I would say. So I don't know. I think that these are the thoughts which are coming up. I mean, the network was a little patchy when you asked that question. It was about that structure, right? Or did I
And I
miss
was talking
anything?
about the property generally. You were at the Jaipur edition was in Trident Hotel,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. I mean,
so
hospitality, hospitality, and you got to learn from there as well, right? So what is the kind of service that one may have to offer? Being in the service industry ourselves as coaches, so you get to see the kind of importance that they give to the customers, how they deal with them, what is the kind of I mean, you ask for something additional, right? So they gave us some secluded space for us to have our meal together. So they created that ambience for us. I think that was also an important factor, right? And so welcoming. Go to them and think they know that we are part of this batch. So the kind of attention that they give makes you feel that you're at home. You don't think that you're away or miles away from your home, and it again gives a different the ambience makes a lot of difference, and the kind of experience that we get, you get to see it. For me, experience is that you get to see it, then you know what customer service is. And when you are learning things about your coaching business, you also get to imbibe certain things without your knowledge.
and Jail taking the liberty of being your batchmate in coach training. I would say that dear viewers, we everything that we do, Jail is also one of our mentors. Whether it's coach training or coaching unlimited, we do not compromise on the quality of what we do. So, Jail, if I may ask now, we have a related question. Uh, so, I'll combine both. How has coaching unlimited helped you? And you have a question. What was the top two takeaways for you? So, if you, I would like you to reflect on that.
Okay. How did it help me? I would share that with an example. I mean, while I was preparing for coaching unlimited itself, I think I was thinking about this aspect. I was just referring to the notes today. It just caught my attention. For sports, I'll just take the sports example, right? So for someone to be successful in a sport, the three elements which are needed. One is their skill in that sport, what level they play, and that's one important element. The other aspect is the physical fitness. Playing a sport, that physical fitness is so important. Their agility and um, the muscle strength, and right. So those aspects. Third element is the mental strength, which plays a huge part. That's what differentiates the champions from the rest, right? So these three components are required in a sports person. So when I compare that with maybe a coaching business, coaching skills, that's that's pretty much needed, foundational, right? So if I have to be a good coach, I need to be getting good in the competencies in how I'm displaying those competencies, and there is an opportunity to get deepened. So that really helped me being coached on the competencies at a depth which you haven't seen in the classrooms. and more practical questions coming up, and many people contributing to that. It helps you to deepen your coaching skills. That's one element. The second element is physical strength, which I said. Probably it's about from the business standpoint. What is the kind of infrastructure I need to have, right? So, am I clear on what my niche is? What's my target audience is? Um, whom am I going to focus on? How do I do it? What's the kind of the tools that I need to have? Do I have a website? How do I go about in social media? How do I market myself, right? So these aspects, that's on the physical part. The mental part is how confident I am about the niche that I have chosen, and am I willing to play with the level of intensity which is needed to run the business. These three components are equally important. Like how we compare with a sports person, um, when it comes to coaching business, I feel that these three elements, the way I narrated it, I could find that kind of a balance. That's what helped me to move ahead from the place I was. And I've been taking a lot of actions after that in setting up the rigor with which I have operated after that is very different. Prior to that, I didn't have the clarity in my head, the mental part, which I said, right? So clarity, if the mind is not clear, if I'm confused, have I chosen the right segment? Am I playing in the right place? How do I go about? If I have these kind of questions, my actions are going to be hampered. I wouldn't be having a I would be hesitating to take the actions what's required. But with coaching unlimited, what I felt was that I'm much more clearer in my head. Yes, this will work because I'm getting that confidence being in that place and listening to the people who have been successful in the coaching business. It's not any other business. In the coaching business, being purely doing coaching alone, can you be successful? So you're seeing people in front of you and they are not preaching, they're sharing from their experience. They have demonstrated that it's possible. So then your mental strength, I felt that it got built up a lot more. So to me, I think these three components together, I could find the right balance, I would say, walking away from coaching unlimited. So top two takeaways, I think I answered as part of this itself, right? So probably the balance, the clarity in my head, which has allowed me to take the actions. I think these two are the significant ones, and I don't feel that I'm alone. That's one more thing which was coming up, right? So feeling lonely is something which I was experiencing. Now I feel that I have people to reach out to. Um, I have big alumni group also, which we are part of. It's not that I have interacted with all of them, but I know resources is available. So that gives you additional strength as well.
Angel, we have been interacting even ever since training days. One recurring theme was always the structure of the business, how to go about. But with your permission, I would like to make an observation that I have seen that your LinkedIn game and your website has just gone to a next orbit, especially your LinkedIn. So I can connect
Yeah,
that the clarity in the mind and a process, a
yeah,
structure, something that you were seeking came to you.
absolutely. I think that's what I mentioned as actions, right? So the last 3 months have been quite consistent on LinkedIn because I know what are the things I want to talk about. Prior to that, I didn't know how to make it consistent. I wasn't sure. If I have to be consistent, what are the things I talk about? I didn't have that clarity. Once the clarity comes, then your actions are much more faster and it's consistent as well.
So, Jail, why should coaches opt for the upcoming edition of Coaching Unlimited?
Why should coaches opt? I think what's the need? Probably they need to ask that what is it they want to walk away with being in coaching unlimited. What is that that's going on in their mind? Um, I think mainly it's about in terms of value being in the midst of these stalwarts. Certainly, I think you will walk away with value, no doubt about that. Being there for 3 days, very structured program, and with the kind of participants which are kind of who have been in the business for some time are looking to find their feet in having the business, right? So um, probably I think the question is, what are you looking for? What is the need for which you are want to get into the program? If that clarity of what I need is there, and probably the answers are easier to find is what I would feel. And probably if you are in the space where you're feeling lonely, or you feel that maybe you need to sharpen the coaching skills, it's been quite a while where you have been meeting clients regularly, but you're not very sure if you are in the if you are very sure about the coaching skills as such, are trying to find ways to maybe find that missing spark of what can take you to the next level. Probably I think this will be a good place uh, for people to explore. I think these are some of the thoughts I have.
Thank you, Jill. We are little over time. I really appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time out for spending this 20 minutes with us. With your permission, I just have two quick announcements to make. On Saturday, the 3rd of February, we are starting our next ICF Level 1 online batch. So those interested can reach out to us. And Marcia Reynolds, very famous coach, Jail, you're also part of a previous Regal Musart, where we had
Yeah.
Jeff and Tim Galway join us. So we are back with another coach superstar, Marcia Reynolds, who will be joining us and sharing with us about her latest book, Breakthrough Coaching, on 5th February 2024 from 8 to 9 p.m. So, dear viewers, dear listeners, JL had a fantastic time in Jaipur. We're coming to Mumbai in this month from 23rd to 25th February with the 5th edition of Coaching Unlimited. Do reach out to us if you have any questions. It's a good time to sign up because every coach deserves to be commercially successful. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great evening. See you next Thursday.